What's it like being chronically ill, neurodivergent, and an entrepreneur? I'm going to take you with me for a couple of days in my life. Day 1 is super unstructured, whereas day 2 has a lot more structure. Who am I to do this video? Hi, I'm Cassie Winter. I'm a productivity expert and life coach for neurodivergent spoonies, and I'm a neurodivergent spoonie myself. Let's get started, shall we? Welcome to day 1. It is December 1st, 2022, and I done wanna. My first alarm went off almost half an hour ago, so my second alarm is nigh. Usually I spend the half hour in between those alarms trying to rest some more, but as today is unique and it's a day in the life, I've been ruminating endlessly on what to do in all my filming and the things in particular I wanted to say in this first video. And so not restful. And just really quick distinction, it's not like healthy planning. Ruminating is just endless, anxious thought loops that you can't escape. It's not restful. It's not fun. I mean, sure, I got some planning done, but not in a healthy way. My brain is so helpful. Yay. Anyways, next step is to do the first part of my morning routine, which is just me laying here. I've already adjusted my bed, so my head is up a little bit. And yeah, as I talked about in my morning routine videos, my first thing is always to just like let my brain and body kind of boot up before I stand up. So I always give myself about a half hour to just like kind of lie here, sitting up a little bit, and do some kind of mindless stuff on my phone to let my body do its thing. Let my brain do its thing. Can you tell it hasn't booted up yet? I'm just like, ugh. Anyways, talk to you soon. It's been about 10 minutes and my brain feels more alive, and I suddenly remembered something that in my ruminating, what is that pronunciation? In my ruminating, that I realized I wanted to talk about, which was, I had an icky dream last night. So with my extensive history of trauma, I have a tendency towards unpleasant dreams. A lot of the times they're full-on nightmares. Thankfully I didn't have one last night, but I did have a icky, anxiety-inducing dream last night, so that's what I was coming out of. That certainly didn't help. Is probably one of the reasons why I shifted into ruminating so hard. So anyways, talk to you soon. First win of the day achieved. I have changed positions. It's very exciting. But I'm checking in to let you know my partner just came to visit me and say hi. I asked them to adjust my tripod for me so I could film for today. So I had been using my nice tripod to actually hold one of my filming lights in a overhead position over my sewing table to make it easier for me to see. It's actually something he set up for me a while back. It's been great, but wow, yep, still morning brain. That means for me to continue filming today, I would have needed to swap out the light for my phone holding attachment to do time-lapse filming and stuff. And that was one thing I was going to be like, all right, y'all, I'm spending spoons on it. But genius that I am, I realized, oh, I could ask for help. One of the things that's a big struggle with brain fog in particular, whether your brain fog is from chronic illness or something else going on, is that simple solutions or even just like basic understanding of what's going on for you and what would help is hard. Still booting up, but I'm excited that I had the presence of mind at this point to ask for help, and that's going to make the rest of my day easier because I won't have to spend spoons standing up doing that as part of my morning, and that's going to help a lot. So excited! It is time to get up. As stated before, I done wanna. Alright, what's the plan? The next part of my morning routine is pretty straightforward. It's time for me to feed the cats, because I'm in charge of breakfast. My partner is in charge of dinner before bed. And, I want to get the camera set up so you can watch me do my morning chore, which is always part of my morning routine. And yeah, I'm hoping that filming that won't interrupt my ability to listen to a podcast while I do stuff, because I find that helpful for my morning. But anyways, catch you in the next shot. Alright, cats are in the process of being fed. I have been up for, 10 minutes, and my heart rate is kind of going in between 100 and 110, which is, I think, to be expected. Is interesting. So the way my POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, wow, brain fart, how that works for me is if my heart doesn't get tachycardic enough, I get kind of faint and lightheaded, because essentially my brain isn't getting enough blood. So while tachycardia sucks, my brain tends to be a little bit happier when my heart rate is like north of 110. So it kind of explains why I'm feeling a bit low right now. Yeah. Okay, what am I doing next? I am looking at my cute cat. Goodness. He's done with his breakfast. Now I need to put it on the floor so she can have breakfast. Long story short. What? No, that's the brain fog. I should probably start moving. I've been standing in one place. Okay, so I'm going to attach my phone to the tripod and then film myself doing some chores. Oh, I'm not going to be able to listen to my podcasts while I film. That's really dumb. Alright, time to ask my partner for more help and see if he's willing to set up the DSLR for me, because I don't think I can morning without something to listen to. I need that stimulation, so here we go. So my partner was kind enough to help me set up the DSLR on my tripod instead. Thank goodness, it's all set up now. But that was a lot of standing to get that done. And usually by this time in my morning routine, I'm like done standing and I can sit and eat breakfast. So I haven't made breakfast, but I definitely need to sit. See, how's my heart rate doing? Oh yeah, it's around 79 right now, and like, it's really nice not being super tachycardic, because that's like a really uncomfortable feeling in my chest, but like not having enough blood to the brain is hard, and I'm out of breath because I was like low cardio for 15 minutes being up. So the reason why I'm documenting all of this is because this is part of my work day to day. Like, I need to film this video for YouTube, and I kind of see that the point of a day in the life as a neurodivergent spoonie business owner is like really seeing behind the scenes and like how much I'm struggling. And I know that there are spoonies and neurodivergent individuals out there who have significantly more support needs than I do. But I also don't want to devalue or undersell how much I struggle on a day-to-day basis. And that's why I'm doing this. Some other things that are going on with me, for context, is 2 days ago I did way too much. Like, holy cow, way too much. And I'm still recovering from that. And what else is going on? Oh yeah, ever since I got out of bed, I've noticed I have a bit of a sore throat, but it's pretty obvious to me that it's I had reflux last night, sore throat, and so my throat's just kind of burned. And what that tells me is that I didn't have the head of my bed raised enough last night to prevent that from happening, which, oops, my bad. We'll be doing that tonight. Yeah, I'm shaky from being super potsy, and as you can tell, my brain barely has 2 brain cells to rub together, so I'm gonna sit here and sip some electrolyte water for a few minutes, gather my wits about me, and then proceed with the rest of my morning routine. Hello, this is voiceover Cassie from December 20th, so the distant future for the Cassie you see on screen, and the 1 week old past from when this video comes out. Anyways, you are watching me unload the clean dishwasher, and as most people know, things are still a little bit wet, so I've got my towel to dry things off. My heart rate was around 100 here, didn't feel good. Bending over and standing up over and over and over again as a potsy, not fun. Super not a fan. Hopefully this is a little bit more visually stimulating than the majority of the content for this video. And I apologize, this video today is a long one. Oh hey look, heart rate's 101 again. But I really wanted to make sure that I was showing everything that goes into a day in the life of a neurodivergent spoonie business owner, because if I just showed you me doing work, that would be really boring and not demonstrative of how just existing in a chronically ill body with a neurodivergent mind is a lot of work. Anyways, I'm making my morning smoothie right now. It's basically half a cup of quick oats, tablespoon of dark cocoa powder. Oh, there's me having a brain fart. I was having a lot of brain farts that morning. Handful of dark chocolate chips, and a small portion of white chocolate chips, and then 1/3 cup of cottage cheese and 1 1/3 cup milk, blitzed into oblivion. And then this is me practicing dancing. It's sped up so much you can't really see the quality of movement, but whenever I have like a couple of minutes in the kitchen, or I'm just waiting for something to happen, I usually either do a few drills to practice dancing, or I do a PT exercise. I've got a Dynaband hooked into the door jamb of the larger door to the right of the screen, so I can do my PT exercises for my knees. Here I am doing some more practicing, working on something called directional intent right now, and it's basically dusting off the cobwebs of distant me jazz Cassie to bring that old technique into my partner dancing technique. And this is me cleaning up. So excited, it's almost time for breakfast. My breakfast is ready. I am so excited. And also, taking off my headphones just now, I just realized that when my headphones are attached to my phone, it uses the headphone microphone, which is terrible. So I apologize if some of those videos sounded awful. I hope I can fix them in post. I'm out of breath from doing all of that. Let's see if my heart rate is coming down at all. Oh yeah, it's like, whew. It's now down to 87. I feel icky and out of spoons. So I'm going to enjoy my breakfast now, and I will see you soon. So I have finished my morning smoothie. I am so out of it. So, usually by this time in my morning routine, my brain feels ready for the day. But I don't think my brain's really going to get up and running today. But I still got a lot to do, so I'm also experiencing that post eating potsiness. Oh, apparently my cat has gone to aggressively visit my partner. So that's my partner saying hi to my cat, if you can hear it. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so even though I had a liquid breakfast, which helps mitigate this problem, it's like sitting like a lump of coal in my stomach, and I can tell that all of my blood is going to my stomach to do the digesting. So I feel my head feels like I'm still standing up. It's a little bit worse, actually. It's fantastic. So I think I'm going to let myself sit here for a little while longer, and then proceed with my workday. All right, I have filmed a quick TikTok of something that came up on a group coaching call yesterday that I really wanted to share. Something really important to understand about the concepts of body doubling and co-working. If those are something you need in order to do things, in order to have successful task initiation and follow through, that is okay. It is morally neutral to need body doubling and co-working. This is something that came up on a group call with my clients yesterday, and I just thought it was really important to share with all of you. And now, it's, goodness, my first video I filmed at around 10:30 a.m. It is now 12:46 p.m. As you can tell, my morning routine took a lot longer today for two reasons. A, I'm really potsy, so not doing too good. And also, the added task of filming my day is costing me more spoons. So I'm finally at the point. I usually get to where I am now, where I'm looking at my Notion dashboard to see what's on my plate for the day. I usually get to this point by noon, so I'm late today. But I work for myself, so I'm not in trouble. What I'm going to do next is basically go through my morning check-in, and see what's on my plate. And then I'm going to take you with me while I time block the rest of the day. So that's what's next. All right, here we are. Unique situation today. I'm working in the living room instead of from bed because I plan on washing my sheets today. And it's just not worth the work of like working in there for part of the day, then moving out here so I can do my sheets. This is a whole deal. So normally I'm in there, but today I'm out here. And that means I don't have my big whiteboard to time block on. So I'm going to be time blocking in Google Calendar, and I thought that'd be easier to show for all of you too. And I can do it while seated. Very exciting. Today is a unique day in that I don't have anything actually scheduled. Usually I have at least one, if not more, Zoom calls scheduled in a day that I need to work around. But today I got nada, nothing. And that is both a blessing and a curse, because it's nice to just have the whole day free. And that's in part why I'm doing my filming a life in the day today, because I have all of this time to let that process take as long as it needs to. And it is now 1:00. Usually I get to this point in my day by noon. My morning routine tends to take me about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what chore I do and how much recovery time I need from any stage in my morning routine. So I have just spent time going through my Notion dashboard to see what's on my plate for today. And I also checked in with my private Discord community that I love so much, and it's so motivating to just go in and see people showing up for themselves, showing up messy. And in particular, I love checking in on the text co-working channel, um, because I have clients from all over the world. So some people are nearing the end of their day right now. And there's this whole thread of people co working and guiding themselves through their day. And I'm just so proud of them. I adore them all so much. And I created this community to create this sense for my clients that, like, oh, I'm not alone. This is hard and that's okay. It's okay to pace myself. It's okay to need support. But like, it helps me too. It is so motivating to go in there and see that. So I'm kind of riding high off of checking in there. I love it so much. But now it is time for me to time block my day. So no structure. I have to create the structure for myself. Y'all know how hard that is. It has taken me years to get to a point where I can do this for myself. It's taken a lot of practice. But let me show you my thought process real quick. First of all, I'm going to block in what we've already done. So, this was my morning routine. Now we're at 1:00. I have kind of one big thing that I need to do today, and that is call and fix something that was a mistake on my 2023 healthcare.gov application. Really frustrating. I'm going to give myself like an hour for that, and that's probably something I'm going to do first. And since it's kind of like an ambiguous thing, I'm going to block it in first. Usually I block in breaks first, but I figure I'm just going to play my break by ear. If the call takes forever, I'll take a break right afterwards. If it doesn't take forever, I'll probably end up moving things around. But let's just say this hour right here, allhealthcare.gov. And let's make it a different color. Let's make it gray because it stresses me out. So I'm going to put in a break right here. Let's change that color to lavender. Okay, and then I think this rest of it is just going to be my afternoon chunk. And I've got a lot of little things. I have to create a poll to schedule with my clients my end of year review workshop. And I have a message I have to do in my role as a dance teacher. And I also have to write a YouTube script for the previous video. This is where time traveling comes in. So the video y'all saw 2 weeks ago, even though for me it comes out 2 weeks from now. I need to write the script for that video so I can film it this weekend. And I should also write the official intro outro to this video. So I've got lots of like little things to do and then writing that one big YouTube script. So this is just going to be Pomodoros to get through my to-do list. So that's what I'm going to call it. So this is my day. You can look in my past time blocking videos, and I even have a TikTok recently. The way I time block is usually a very simple process. First of all, I put down whatever is actually scheduled for that day. So if I already have Zoom calls, appointments, that kind of thing, that goes on the time block first. The second thing I time block is my breaks, because usually when I have a schedule of calls, finding when I need to be taking breaks is the next most important thing. So I put that in next. And then I fill in the nooks and crannies with time for specific tasks. Yeah, that's what I do. And then usually things change as I go. So like my idea of how this day was going to go was very different when I woke up than it is now, because my morning routine, being out of spoons and having to also film this video today, made my morning routine run an hour longer than normal. So I'm playing it by ear. We're running fast and loose today, but this is the plan so far. Wish me luck on my phone call. I'll probably also be on hold for a while, so I'll see if I can get any of my little things done while I'm on hold. Wish me luck. Y'all, it's a miracle. I wasn't on hold at all, and the person I talked to with healthcare.gov was so helpful, and we just got it done. It was like less than 10-minute call. Like, what? That's incredible. So now I'm going to spend the rest of the time that I time blocked actually finishing the process of applying for insurance for 2023 because they offered to help me with that, but I was like, I think I can do the rest on my own. I will just call back if I need help. So here I go. Actually, this reminds me of something that I should talk about. Health insurance as a chronically ill individual is so up until January 1st of 2023, I will have been on Care Oregon Medicaid for, goodness, ever since I had access to it. So I think over 5 years at this point. And that's because I qualified for it. So my income was below poverty level, because that's essentially what needs to be the case in order to have free health insurance. And what's been interesting is this past year, because of this business, I now make well over that, which is wonderful, but it now means that I have to pay for my own insurance. But because of the pandemic, Oregon has actually had a wonderful policy where they won't kick anyone off of Medicaid just because their income has increased. It's a really wonderful policy on Oregon's part, and I really applaud them for that. That being said, they don't make it easy to escape. So I need to change insurance in order to move forward with a very particular medical thing that I need to do. There's a surgery I need, and it's probably going to happen out of state. And there's no way I could have done that with Medicaid, essentially. So I wanted to change insurance earlier this year because I could afford better and move forward with my medical stuff. But they wouldn't let me. And I was like, wait. So you're just holding on to me? And I was told that the only time I could change it was open enrollment. And so it is now the period of open enrollment. When this video comes out, it will have closed, because I think it closes on December 15th. But it's been a process trying to figure this out. There was this little button, this little checkbox in the healthcare.gov application that was like, do you qualify for Medicaid? And I'm like, this is probably just my autistic brain making things way too complicated, but I'm like, well, if I applied right now, no, but I also have it right now because they're not kicking anybody off. So which is it? It turns out if I were to apply right now, I would be denied Medicaid. That's the answer I go with. I do not currently qualify for Medicaid if I were to apply right now. So when I first filled out the application, I had checked that box. Yes, I do apply, but that meant at the end of the day, I got no tax subsidies whatsoever for different health insurance. And I'm like, that's not good. I do need some subsidies. I'm not making that much money. So that's what I was getting help with, because you can't go back and uncheck that box yourself online. You need help from someone. So that's what the phone call was. I just did. Anyways, I'm going to go pick my plan now. Wish me luck. Okay, so it is now 1:39 and I have knocked over the next 2 dominoes in my health insurance thing. I made that phone call and then I picked a plan on healthcare.gov. My next step is to pay for my first month, but I'm waiting to see, because of the hiccups I've had along the way, I'm waiting for some information to proceed with that. So I have added it to my Notion to-do list for tomorrow to work on the next domino. So I can now relax. I can worry about it tomorrow and I can move on to something else. Now we're back in the time blocking calendar because I wanted you to see how I had blocked off a whole hour for this because I thought I was going to be on hold for like at least 30 minutes, but magically no hold time whatsoever. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that to be more accurate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add right here some admin because now I can work on some of the smaller tasks that I have planned for today. So I have to create that poll to schedule, and I also have to message someone in the dance community about something in my dance teaching life. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Wish me luck. Y'all, look at my cat. Isn't Kayla stinking precious? Oh my goodness, I love her so much. And then here's me trying to get set up and dropping the power cord to my laptop. I use a beefy gaming laptop, so therefore I can't really get too much time on battery alone. And so this is me going about my work. Somewhere in this sped up time lapse, I filmed the time blocking shenanigans that you saw just before this. And I'm not going to show you all of this because this is basically an hour or so of me just working in my computer, which, ironically, speaking to you now, voiceover Cassie, doing the same thing in basically the same location, but new sofa. We got a new sofa. It's very exciting. The only thing that's really happening is you can see the light changing outside. Yeah, it's kind of boring. So we're going to jump ahead towards the end. It'll get a little bit darker. And then we'll move on to, me telling you about my day some more. It's very glamorous. Can you tell? It's break time. I got those 2 little things done. I got the poll created and shared with my community on Discord. And I also got the message drafted and sent to the dance community member who I needed to talk to. I am feeling so much better than I was really up until just like an hour ago. Holy cow. The last hour has done wonders for how I feel emotionally today. Because as you know, I was having a really rough start to the day, super potsy, really out of spoons, lots to do, and no spoons to do them with. And also that I had that like really anxiety-inducing dream last night, and I started my day with like 20 minutes straight of ruminating, which ain't great for the mental health. My head is feeling a little clearer, and I think that is mainly because I have been sitting for well over an hour straight now. That has done wonders for my POTS. So I'm not going to get up and do too terribly much during my break. I might try to start my laundry, washing my sheets. But that's about it. Otherwise, I'm just going to enjoy myself. Maybe do some social media, some reading, watching some YouTube. I don't think I'm up to eating anything because I can still feel my smoothie sitting in my stomach. Like, there's a reason why I have a liquid breakfast most days. It's because of my gastroparesis. It just doesn't leave my stomach for 5 million years. But yeah, mainly like emotionally, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm like, I've done some good work today, and I'm on track to get all the things done today that I need to get done, which is a lot, especially for a low spoon day. And it helps that my POTS is feeling a little bit better because I've been sitting here for as long as I have. And as you've seen from the other video, I've had my feet up this whole time. So feeling good. I'm excited to move on to my break. So I just spent some time watching some dance videos of a student of mine. There was a local Jack and Jill competition last night, and they got first place. And they sent me all their videos and are asking for some feedback. And I just was on cloud 9 watching their videos. I know I'm on my break, but dancing is
fun and meaningful to me, and it's a nice change of pace. And so now I'm going to film a really quick bit of feedback for my student. Classic post-dance teaching fainting pose. Oh, I only filmed like 5-minute thing for my dance student. But the combination of standing, talking, and dancing to demonstrate. What's my... Come on, watch. Wow, I really thought it'd be higher. I think it just crashed because I'm out of spoons and it can't maintain a tachycardic state. So as soon as I lay down, it was just like... Anyways, I'm going to proceed with the rest of my break now, being supine. Talk to you soon. All right, minor miscalculation and an update. It is now 3:17. According to my time blocking, I should be getting on to my next batch of work, Pomodoros. But a couple things happened. One, I realized, I should probably eat something now. And so I have reheated some leftovers from last night. And while it was reheating, because I like to do the low and slow method in the microwave so things don't explode. While that was going on, I stripped my bed and put all my bedding into the washing machine, so that's going. And there was some more time left over, so I went ahead and loaded the dishwasher. You saw me unload it this morning, so I've now loaded everything that was on the counter into there. Not enough to run it, but still, glad I did that. But now, of course, I am out of breath. Pots is not fun. Anything that is not seated or lying down is exercise, essentially. Cardiovascular exercise. And even sitting with my feet on the floor is exhausting. So I have my feet up right now. I look like a human pretzel. But anyways, I'm going to eat. I'm not going to rush myself eating because I know that will make me really ill. And then I will get on to my next work session when I can. Because it's more important to not hurt myself than it is to get to work, since today is a much more flexible day. So, check in later. Alright, I've finished my lunch. I watched a fun sewing YouTube video while I ate. I didn't rush, but I also didn't try to waste the rest of my day either. But it is now 3:43, so that took me like essentially an extra half an hour. I am going to, with the goal of stopping my work day at 5, I'm going to do a little bit of admin. And then probably starting at 4, I'm going to dive into 2 Pomodoros. So 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest. And it's going to be all writing, working on, again, the last video you saw, but the next video I'm filming. Time travel, YouTube. Talk to you soon. And we are back for more computer work. More of the same. Hey, look, I'm animated. I'm on Zoom. A little bit, in case you haven't seen my spoonie desk setup video. Basically, I got lap desk, obvious. The little light in the corner is my Zoom light. I don't know why it's not on. I must not have updated Zoom or something. And then I've got my microphone. My partner just screwed that into the lap desk for me. The little black wedge in between the light and the microphone is my Stream Deck. Lots of fancy buttons and hotkeys and macros. And then there's the laptop itself. Got a little USB port shenanigans, also command stripped to the desk. So I only have a couple of cords to plug into the laptop itself if I ever want to take the laptop out. And then the webcam I have is the original version of the Elgato Facecam. They now have a new one that's 4K. I want it, but I'm not going to buy it. But anyways, more of the same. Me doing a whole bunch of work. I think my head's bopping along because I'm listening to music. as I work. But anyways. All right, coming up is one of my favorite parts of working at home. My precious kitty, Kayla, is back to snug some more. Look at her. Look at how precious she is. Oh my goodness, she sniffed my face. She's very thorough. Oh no, she's needing me. Oh. As I speak to you now from voiceover land, she is also snuggled at my hip right now. Oh, the way she swung her head and squeaked at me. Oh goodness. That's a good snug. Oh, she wants more scritches. Y'all, I am such a cat lady. You have no idea. Also, my recent YouTube obsession is the Closet Historian on YouTube. I love her so much. If you're into vintage sewing, check her channel out. But I find my autistic brain taking on a voiceover mask that is similar to hers. I'm not doing it on purpose, but can I turn it off? No. Oh, there we go. The Zoom light's working. I ended up having to implement that because my partner is also neurodivergent and works from home, and we tend to interrupt each other a lot and want attention from each other just because it's a form of stimming for us as a couple. And the problem would be I would be like on a call with a client, or it would be a sales call with a potential client, and my partner would barge in making cute noises, probably a screaming cat in his arms, and that wasn't very professional. So we got me a availability light that automatically links with my Zoom, so it's really obvious to him whether or not I am available for interruption. It's been very handy. Oh, it gets dark, doesn't it? Anyways, onward. I have come to the end of my day, and it is a miracle. When my timer went off, I was like this close. Like, if I had just had 10 more minutes, I probably could have finished both of the scripts that I need to have written by this weekend. So close. But like I talk about in my program, and my clients are well aware of, I was exercising my stopping muscle so I can finish my day. So I only have... I'm out of breath because I just got up and did something real quick, and so now I'm sitting down again. So potsy wee. I only have a couple more things to do. I want to get all of the footage from my 2 cameras onto my computer. So all of the footage for today, day 1, is in my computer. I don't have to worry about it. And I obviously need to finish washing my bedding. I think I can move it to the dryer now and then make my bed later. But overall, I'm really proud of myself for all that I got done today. And as you can see from like an external perspective, I only worked for maybe 3 hours. And that's pretty average for me to work on my business for usually 2 to 4 hours is the range on an average day. Every once in a while, it's longer if I have a big deadline and I've been flaring more than usual. But on average, I personally tend to have 4 to 6 usable hours a day. And on weekdays, I try to make 2 to 4 of those actual work on my business. And considering how rough a shape I was in this morning, as you saw, I'm really proud of everything I got done today. And there was a fair amount that I was just dreading emotionally, and I had a lot of resistance for. And 2 things really helped. Well, 3 things really helped with that. 1, my history of showing up for myself, so I trust myself to do hard things when I need to, when I choose to. Another is I had my wonderful community to co-work with. So I was in the text-based co-working channel a lot today, hanging out with my clients while they were also getting things done. And 3, the act of filming myself today gave me a lot of opportunities to really check in with how I was doing and then make conscious choices about how to proceed in a self-compassionate way. I always do better when I'm able to do that. And today, the structure of filming my day really helped me do that a lot more than I probably would have been able to otherwise on a rough day like today, which is something I'm going to be reflecting on going forward. But yeah, I'm going to let myself just move videos to my computer, finish my bedding, and enjoy my evening. I will not be cooking. Do not have the spoons for that. So we'll be snacking on ready-made food or frozen meals that we've got around here. And probably going to be doing super duper low spoon required activities like watching stuff or playing a computer game. I do have a sewing project I want to make progress on, but I doubt I'll work on that tonight. I really need to let myself rest. But anyways, that was day 1. Super unstructured day. I'll catch you in a few days. I think next Tuesday is when I'm going to film my next one, which is a more structured day. So I will see you then. Thanks for coming with me today. Bye. So that was a super unstructured day in my life. Before we move on to a more structured day, I'm curious, what are your biggest struggles on unstructured days like that? Let me know in the comments.
Welcome to day 2. It was a rough night last night. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a great night's sleep, and 10 being no sleep at all, plus horrible pain. It's like a 5 right there, smack dab in the middle. It took me forever to fall asleep, and then I wasn't able to stay asleep. I kept waking up over and over and over again. My brain just going wild. And then no position was comfortable enough to relax. It was a rough time. Anyways, I'm going to proceed with the brain booting up portion of my morning routine, and I will see you soon. To add insult to injury, the moment I sat up, the act of sitting up launched so much bile up my throat and into my mouth. My entire throat and back of my mouth are now burned. So it feels terrible. Bye.
We are back for some morning routine shenanigans. The day before I was unloading a clean dishwasher, today loading a dirty one. Yet again, the constant bending over and standing up. Not fun. But what you gonna do? It needs to happen. And hand washing dishes is absolutely out of the question for me because pots and pain. Being a tall person in a standard kitchen, you see how low the counter is, like it's below my hips. Bending over a counter to do stuff, not good. So the few items that we have that need to be hand washed, I make my partner do that because I simply cannot. It's interesting. Watching this back, it occurs to me it might be wise on mornings where I feel like I just need a little extra boost to get through this to use my inhaler. Film yourself doing stuff. You'll discover things. Making a different breakfast this morning. Just some simple oatmeal. Instead of using a whole bunch of sugar, I just use some dark chocolate chips and peanut butter, and it's quite tasty. I remember that. Okay, I was so foggy that I thought I had heated up the oatmeal in the microwave, right? But I had set the timer. So 1 minute and 40 seconds goes by. I opened the microwave, and it still looks just like uncooked oatmeal with water in it. And oh boy. So, of course, try again, as they say. It's like the equivalent of putting the cereal in the fridge and the milk in the pantry. Am I right? Do this kind of stuff all the time. So, for this day, actually working in the bedroom. So, making my bed, getting it all ready. I use that Nuzzy weighted blanket as a backdrop because my purple sheets against the red wall background is a bit aggressive for being on a Zoom call. I just don't like it aesthetically. So I add the Nuzzy blanket. It's a more neutral color to have as a background when I'm on Zoom calls. Here I am doing my PT exercises that are mostly like they're for the whole hip to feet kind of situation, but it's mainly to help with my bad knees. I am out of cartilage and my patellas don't track properly. So not fun. And wasn't actually able to get surgery because of insurance shenanigans, which is frustrating. And it forced me down the PT path. But luckily, PT has been helping a lot, so I'm hoping to avoid surgery for a little while longer in my life. I know I will need it at some point, because y'all with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, you know, if you are an active person, as I am a dancer, it beats up your joints. All right, breakfast. I had forgotten my phone, of course. So here I am hopping into bed. My heart rate is still high. Awesome. The irony of watching myself be super potsy while I voice over Cassie am here also being potsy. My feet are up, but my body is hating that I had anything to eat for breakfast. And I'm tachycardic. It's a good time. That was sarcasm, if you couldn't tell. I still find myself slipping into closet historian style voiceover. And again, it is outside of my control. I love her. Do I have any personality of my own? Nobody knows. So while I eat breakfast, I don't work because, I need to take my time eating. Like many other spoonies, I have a fair amount of vitamins that I take with my breakfast. I know other spoonies take significantly more than I do, and I used to be one of those spoonies, but I simply cannot pull that off anymore. So I've got it narrowed down to magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin D, and methylated B vitamins. And those methylated B vitamins have helped me so much ever since I learned that I can't metabolize normal B vitamins thanks to more wonky genetics. Switching to a methylated B vitamin made a huge difference to me a few years ago.
This is my precious Kayla. She wants me to sit cross-legged so she can snuggle me. All right, here you go. Aw, thanks, sweetie. And down. Well, I guess I'm not going to be time blocking over there today. I mean, yeah, I'll scritch you. I mean, that was the plan, because on day one, I showed you time blocking on Google Calendar, but, I have been chosen, and my heart rate is still 94. Criminy. I've been sitting here for how long? 20 minutes. Oh, okay, I'll give you some more. Hi. Yes. Okay, so, oh goodness. So, and I'm probably going to have my partner come in here and turn on that camera so you can co-work with me.
You can go check out my full bedroom office setup in the card that was above just now. But oh my goodness, isn't Kayla adorable? She is such a princess, and she is so cute. See, told you, crazy cat lady. And earlier, I didn't mention it, but while I was doing my PT exercises on this day 2 morning, you could see my other cat, Oreo, the black and white tuxedo cat, hanging out. He likes to help me with those exercises. It's really adorable. Looks like I'm on yet another Zoom call. My life is basically computer work and Zoom calls. That is the business I have built for myself. There's no other way, honestly, with my very low capacity. That's what I gotta do if I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. And I'm really proud of myself for building my business the way I have over the past several years, because oh man, it fits into my capacity. As it grows, I continue to have to make adjustments to fit it into my capacity. Like right now, I'm finding myself stretched a bit too thin. So, looking forward to the bit of vacation I'm going to give myself in February. Very excited about that. But, yeah, more computer work. It never ends. And if you're curious about the purple stuffed animal to the right on the bed next to mine, that is a moon pal, a weighted stuffy. And I love it. Well, here we are again. Due to aforementioned cat snuggling, we're time blocking in Google Calendar again today. But also, yeah, my heart rate. Oh, jeez. It's a 99. It's 100. It's 99. Oh, again. It's bad news bears today, so I appreciate not standing up. Mm-hmm. So, what has happened so far? Basically, did my morning routine here. And this is what I'm talking about, a more structured day. So, I have 2 things scheduled today. Nerdy West Coast Swing Prep. That's my weekly meeting with my dance teaching partner for our online content that we do. It's called Nerdy West Coast Swing. Usually that meeting is anywhere from 1 to 2 hours long, and then usually we socialize a little bit afterwards. This great thing here isn't something I participate in. I call my clients in my program muses. So this is their muse-led co-working. There's one scheduled every day of the week. And then, but I am hosting a workshop and call for my clients at 5. So as you can see, if I want to just like be done at the end of that call, I don't have much time today. So, and the other thing is because of how exhausted I am, if I want to be alive and do a good job for my clients at 5 o'clock, I need to do as little as possible between now and then. And I'm already tired from my morning routine. Pots sucks. Why did I right click? Anyways, no. One of those days. And yes, my throat still burns from the bile. And that was an hour and a half ago. Awesome. Okay, let me think this through. I basically have 2 hours to play with, less than 2 hours, because as you can see by this red line, it is noon right now. I cannot spend all of that time working. I mean, in an ideal world, based on how I'm feeling, I wouldn't do any work between now and 2 o'clock for my meeting. But that, I think this is one of those days where pushing myself just a tiny bit is important. So here's what I'm going to do. Rule number 1 of time blocking is to put all your actual scheduled things. And because we're in Google Calendar, they're already done for me. Second thing is to put in breaks first. So I'm going to make 1 to 2 my break. And I'm going to change the color of it so it's really easy to distinguish. And this time between noon and 1 is going to be admin. So I'm going to be catching up with my Discord community, checking my Notion system, making sure I'm on top of things, checking my email, that kind of stuff. That shouldn't take more than like 15 minutes. And then I will re-evaluate and see how many spoons I have. Because the next thing that is on the docket today, I'm pretty sure, is video editing for YouTube. So that's me time blocking my day. And this is why I wanted to show you all a more structured day, because when I have existing meetings, it really cuts down my ability to fit work in between the cracks in a way that doesn't exacerbate my chronic illness or creates a point of diminishing returns for my brain fog, my executive dysfunction, that kind of stuff. So I have come to a point where I understand that this next hour, it's possible for me to do some work. It's not going to be a lot. I'm not going to like move the needle a whole bunch, but it'll be just a little bit. And I know that little bit will make a huge difference to future me, like the rest of this week me. So yeah, that be the time blocking. And now onward to all the admin I was referring to earlier. Wish me luck. Y'all, it's just never ending computer work. I don't want you to have to sit through too much of this, so let's just skip it. Ha! Alright, I managed to do all my admin, and then I did video editing and just posted my updated YouTube channel trailer to my channel and got that set up as my, like, when you come to my channel page for the first time, that's the first video that starts playing. I always find it really annoying to make a channel trailer. You have to like officially publish it, so anybody who's subscribed to my channel will get like a notification about that video, and it's so annoying. I wish I could have it unlisted and then set it as my channel trailer. That would be nice, but I can't. So anyways, I now get to have a break. It's 1:08 right now. I now get to have a break until 2. The main thing I need to do is get up out of bed, because this is where I'm going to be sitting for my 2 Zoom meetings at the end of the day, and I want to like not be here in this position all day. Unfortunately, that means that I have to unsnug my cat. How am I supposed to unsnug it? It's going to get mad at me. Wish me luck. I have successfully removed my lap desk from my lap, but this is what's left. See, lap desk. Cat. Hi. Oh. You are both the best part of my day and the most tiresome. I love you, you silly thing. More very, very important cat content. Can't get enough. Oh, she's so needy. Can you chirp for the voiceover, Kayla? Because you're right here. No, you're too curled up? Oh, goodness, you're cute. Double dose of cute. But again, I'm not going to make you sit through all of this, because that's cruel and unusual. So I just finished my meeting with my dance teaching partner. It was about an hour long, and thankfully we didn't have too much official stuff to do today, just kind of like little bits and bobs here and there, which was nice because my dance teaching partner also has POTS and EDS. So on days like today, we're really kind to each other and we take it easy, and we ended up just watching a few videos from an event and enjoying watching those and talking about them with each other, because there's a reason why our brand is called Nerdy West Coast Swing. We are huge nerds and we love watching and analyzing videos. We do it even when it's not published on YouTube. Anyways, it is now about 3 p.m. and I have 2 hours until my workshopping call with my clients. In an ideal world, I would love to be able to spend these next 2 hours working on next week's YouTube video. But if I'm going to really show up and be there for my clients, I need to save myself for it, because that's how foggy I am today. So I'm probably going to go back out into the living room. I once again have to excise myself from my snuggly cat. And I'm just going to kind of relax and try not to use the gray matter very much for the next couple of hours. So that's what I'll be up to. Talk to you soon. Welcome to my living room sofa. I've been out here, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And I've started ruminating again. And I thought I would share, because getting to a place in my life and my business where I can take 2 hours like this to rest and purposefully not do anything so that I can have all my faculties about me to coach my clients. It's been a long road to get here, and I still struggle with it because all of the old messaging that I'm just being lazy, that I'm not doing enough, like all of that messaging is still in here. I'm still healing from it, and I still struggle with it a lot. And so when I give myself time off on purpose, I come up against those. And so I've basically been coaching myself through it and reminding myself that I'm not lazy, I'm disabled. That's really important. There is a reason why I have so much less capacity than an able-bodied, neurotypical, mentally healthy person. And then the other thing that's hard about those thoughts is they make me question, am I really this tired, or is this just the depression today? And first of all, that kind of black and white thinking is very indicative of my autism. And I know it's indicative of other forms of neurodivergence as well. But it's not one or the other. It's a gray area. It's an and. And if I really think back through everything I did last week, I did so much last week. And technically Sunday was a working day for me because I had to do a whole bunch of filming. And yesterday I started taking it easier. And so basically this week I'm recovering from last week. So I have purposely put less on my plate this week in order to recover and to be able to do more things in the future. But when we come back to this moment, it's like an old dirt road that's had like wheel ruts ground into it over a century. The wheel ruts are so deep for my thinking to be like, you're lazy. You're not doing enough. Therefore, depression. It's really hard to drive outside of those wheel ruts in my brain. So, logically, I know I have every right to the rest I am taking right now. And furthermore, like, you don't have to earn rest. Like, we're humans, we deserve rest, regardless of whether we've earned it by capitalist standards or anything like that. And in this case, even though I don't need to have earned it, I technically have. And it's not so much that I've earned it, it's like I have gotten to a point where I need it. And rest has become a non-negotiable for me. But that doesn't make the depression thinking go away. So it's hard for me to enjoy this time. Hopefully, through talking to you all about it, usually I do all of this inside my own head, like talking to myself, coaching myself through these moments. I'm not usually talking to a camera. But hopefully through this conversation with myself and with you today, my rest will be restful and enjoyable. I'll do my best. I know I'm going to be struggling with those false beliefs and that depression rut in the road of my mind. That's not going away. But I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to enjoy myself the best I can. All right, my break is over. It is time for me to move back into the bedroom to host my workshopping call with my clients in my program, The Action Navigator. Once again, my cat Kayla has stuck me to my spot. It's so bad. The life of a cat mom, right? Alrighty, last work session of the day. Here we go. Putting my bed back into the upright position, closing the curtains, getting ready to coach my amazing, amazing clients in my program, The Action Navigator. I call them muses. I love them all so much. I pinch myself. This is what I do. This is what I do. I help amazing people. And I get to talk to amazing people every single day. Like, how did I do this? I it doesn't seem real. Like, I think back to my Groundhog Day video that I did over a year ago, describing my never-ending Groundhog Day in life. Basically, college burnt me out so bad, and I still was undiagnosed with my chronic illnesses, but still very chronically ill. And I just spent almost a decade of my life just on the sofa all day, every day, doing quote unquote nothing productive with my life and being super duper depressed. And getting out of that on my own was, it was awful. And it took me forever because, like, there wasn't help out there for what I needed. Like, I would go to therapy every week, but it would just be me going, talking, being sad for an hour every week, and then going home and, like, what do I do now? How do I actually do life different? How do I change my behavior? And, like, I had tried cognitive behavioral therapy. I had tried ACT. The next thing I was going to try was dialectical behavioral therapy, but, like, my insurance wasn't going to cover that. And so that wasn't an option for me. Like, what I needed didn't exist. And so now that I'm on the other side of it, and I hardly recognize myself, it's bonkers, people. That's why I do what I do, because I want to be that source for those who are struggling the way I was struggling. Because doing that alone, without support, let alone without, like, expert support, is so hard and awful and miserable. And you don't have to do it alone, and you can get help. That's what I do. That's why I'm here. And I'm so grateful that I can do this. It is so fulfilling and so meaningful. And even though I still deal with the spicy sads, because that's never going away for me. The spicy sads, it's not a 24/7 thing anymore. It comes in waves. But I now have something really meaningful to help pull me out of it, and that is you, my precious muses, because it is my mission to support all of you. So thank you. Thank you for letting me do what I do.
So I just finished my coaching call with my clients. It went about exactly an hour, and it was so wonderful. I love my clients so much. It was really rejuvenating. Like I had told you earlier, while I was taking a break to be ready for that call, I was struggling with those ruts in the road of my brain that say depression, depression, depression. So many false beliefs come up from being in that headspace, and there's like a lot of imposter syndrome, feeling bad about myself. I mean, I'm probably preaching to the choir. You don't need to hear me describe it. And every time I hop on a call with my clients, it lights me up. Even if we're talking about hard things. You all are so precious to me. And I am so honored that you trust me to help you along this journey. So I'm clocking out. My workday is over. It's been an interesting day. Had an awful night's sleep, like I talked about. Had a normal morning. really didn't have too much time to do work outside of calls because I had a lot of resting to do to be alive for this late call today. So in the grand scheme of things, I really didn't do too much work today. But, and this is something that we actually talked about, the amount of time that you put in to whatever your work is, whether that be working for a job or work that's meaningful to you, or both, the meaning is not a one-to-one relationship to the time. You can get so much meaning out of a short amount of time. You can get so much value out of a short amount of time. And we neurodivergent spoonies, because we have less time, energy, capacity, and often money than those who are able-bodied, neurotypical, mentally healthy, we have to be really intentional with how we spend that precious time and energy. And that's why I do what I do. I want to empower my clients to be able to spend their precious time and energy the way they want to. And that's entirely easier said than done. But when you learn how to do that for yourself, your life opens up in ways that you probably never thought was possible for you. I know that happened for me when I was doing this for myself back in the day, and as I continue to do for myself, to continue to grow my life in ways beyond what I thought was possible for me. And I've now been doing this work with clients long enough that I see it happening for them. And it lights me up inside. I am so proud because I can show the way, but they're the ones doing the work and opening their lives up for themselves. And anyways, I love what I do. It's been a roller coaster of a day. I love what I do, and I'm really grateful that all of you make it possible for me to do this. So, thank you. Talk to you soon.
As you can see, that was a much more structured day. And once again, I'm curious, what are your biggest struggles on a more structured day like that? Let me know in the comments. There you have it, 2 days in the life of a neurodivergent spoonie business owner. I hope it was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. If you're curious about my coaching, the main way I work with clients is through my signature course, The Action Navigator. It's packed to the brim with tools and techniques for mastering your time, getting organized, and offering yourself radical compassion as a neurospicy spoonie. If that sounds like exactly what you've been looking for, use the link in the description box below to learn more. Check out these videos next on my minimalist time blocking setup and my bedroom office. If you liked this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and be sure to share it with your friends. P.S. For the new year, I'm going to be doing 4 videos in January leading up to a free workshop at the end of the month. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. See you then. Bye!